Remember college? Well, now college is over. And here comes your
hantavirus strain that has 40% mortality rate
now is very real for all of us here.
Oh my gosh.
We're not just a story.
Basically spread, I think, airborne.
Airborne? Hantavirus, the next pandemic.
Alright, so this furry little fella that we see on our screens right now just killed 3 people. I know that sounds shocking, but it's true actually. Well, not specifically this rodent. I just wanted to show you this pygmy rice rat has been suspected and linked to something what we now know is called the hantavirus, which has killed 3 people and have gotten 5 to 6 more people on a particular ship sick. You know, according to multiple reports, they say passengers on board the cruise ship that has a suspected hantavirus outbreak where 3 people have died and 5 to 6 people are sick cries out as the ship remains near Cape Verde. Hantavirus is a rare but serious illness usually spread through contact with rodents or their waste. Additionally, what I've been able to learn, this virus is basically spread, I think, airborne via rat urine.
Airborne?
Feces or their saliva, typically if in closed environments. And rats, they can crawl in tiny spaces, and or ventilation systems where they, you know, they poo, they pee, they eat. The dry particulates of their byproduct, their waste, can then be mixed in with dust, then spray that out for ventilation, and humans can breathe that in. Unfortunately, it is a very deadly virus. You have like a 50% chance of living or dying.
50% chance? 50. Hold on, man. That sounded like some Resident Evil, The Last of Us type numbers, gang. What's going on? Now, I think the biggest caveat here is, if we're gonna compare it to the big C19, is how bad can this spread, or how fast can this spread? Because being deadly is one thing, but the thing that was really blew the whole C19 out of proportion is not necessarily how much people are killed, even though a lot of people did die, RIP, but technically speaking, the percentage of how much people caught it was so crazy. That's what essentially made the government be like, hold on, we need to lock this down, because yeah, on a percentage level, people technically weren't dying as much as like you thought, honestly, but it was more just like everybody was catching it. But if something like this, let me not even get, so I have some data right here, and we're gonna pay attention to this. Regardless of what you may think, only 0.001 per 100,000 people were actually affected by this. And when I say affected, I mean actually kick the bucket. The big issue with C19 was that it was spreading so fast. So not a lot of people were dying, but a lot of people were getting it. But the death rate was relatively low, regardless of all the crazy things that happened. But with this virus, 40 to 50% people are getting knocked off. Nigga, I'm no scientist, but that sounds like human extinction type of level. So I pray and hope that this is not a very contagious virus, because if it is, GG's.
Dying, I would not want to catch it, which is why they were holding off on even allowing these people to board or dock anywhere. But I believe, last I heard, they're slowly letting these people off onto land now and trying to take very serious precautions as to how to handle it.
Why? Why were we doing that? Am I tripping? Again, I know if I was on this boat, I would probably want to get off too, but then again, once I found out that niggas have a 40 to 50% chance of dying, I would also be voting, hey, nah, keep us on this shit until y'all find a cure or a solution. I don't want to get off this boat and then go back to my loved ones and my friends and family and potentially give them this. What?
And of course, someone said, sink the ship immediately. Yeah, I think that's a bit too serious, but you never know. And the kind of scary thing about this is a passenger on the MV Honidus, I believe it's called, which is what it's basically a polar Antarctic expedition ship where, you know, rich people, not too rich, but $10,000 to $15,000 per ticket. I think they loop around South America to head on over to Antarctica on these polar expeditions. Well, a passenger from the cruise ship, kind of a small cruise ship, about I think 75 passengers or so. He came out speaking about his experience, and so far, by the way, 3 people have died. The first person that died was a 70-year-old. He caught the virus. Long, excruciating, I think painful, slow death.
Oh shit! It's not even one of them ones you just wake up and you gone. They putting them through it.
And then his wife died in South Africa, where they managed to dock, I believe, or allow her to hop off the ship, get medical attention, and she died. And then I believe a third person died who was a staff member. But anyway, here is his experience. Here was what he has to say.
I normally wouldn't make a video like this, but I feel like I need to say something, so I wrote a few things down. I am currently on board the MV Hondius. And what's happening right now is very real for all of us here.
Oh my god.
We're not just a story.
This is crazy.
We're not just headlines. We're people.
Guys, read between the lines. He's making this just in case he dies, because apparently they were saying this ship was going to stay out there in the ocean and sea waters for a month. I don't think that's happening, right? I think they're slowly letting people off the ship, taking extreme precautions. But of course, since this thing has like a 40 to 50% survival rate.
God damn, I was just thinking about going on a cruise too, man. I'm putting a pause on that.
You know, I guess this is kind of like his last will.
People with families, with lives, with people waiting for us at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the main reason why I don't go on cruises, don't go on planes overseas, none of that reason. Sorry,
There's a lot of uncertainty.
not only that, it's kind of weird that a new pandemic is out just before midterms. Something's it's sauce. Something is very sussy about that. Something don't smell right. Let's read some of the comments, shall we? Always something before GT6. Down, humanity is playing on death mode. If you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat itself. So we went from Spanish flu 2.0 to Black Plague 2.0. Great. We're not treating the seriousness. This is the problem. Cue sound effects. I swear the elites have something to do with this. I believe so. It takes 6 to 8 weeks to actually show symptoms. Yeah. Something's not adding up here. No way a little football caused it. No shit. We're witnesses this before interwebs worldwide. Personally, depending on how infectious it is, it may or may not kill all the infected before it becomes a serious threat to the population. It will kill itself. 1455, slight correction. It's not that it's that small, but it's because they poop anywhere including their nest and walk on it, spreading the faker that way. Yeah, the urine is also a problem. At the least ammonia that can cause accumulation and lingering suffering. Yep, that's true. Rats do have pretty much it. Right here, this is what mice. Rats are actually much cleaner. Ironically, this information was provided to me by a licensed exterminator I met during a mouse infestation at my job. Huh. This is weird, ain't it? Got another virus coming around during midterms. I wonder why, ain't it? And just for midterms too. Yep. Suspicious, ain't it? It sounded like to me the Democrats got something going on. Don't want people out there voting for midterms. What you cooked up, China and Bill Gates? What do y'all cooked up? Let's see. We had midterms around last year. All of a sudden, COVID-19 hit. Yeah. go ahead. I'm going to put a pin in that. Let's get back to the rest of the video. And like this guy who's doing what supposed to be his Wesleyan Testament, crying, which also can be used as propaganda by the Democrat Party. So let's go ahead and get involved.
And that's the hardest part.
Jesus.
All we want right now is to feel safe, to have clarity,
I hear you.
Yeah.
and to get home. So if you're seeing coverage about this, just remember that there are real people behind it, and that this isn't something happening somewhere far away.
Right.
It's happening to us.
No, and I get that, man. You know, again, I'm not trying to make light or joke of the situation, but it's always easy to sit and point and laugh and give commentary from the comfort of your home, bro. You know, again, prayers with the people that are going through this. But on some real shit, if I'm gonna just be rational, if I was going through this, and I'm not saying that that's what he's saying, but if I'm going through this, I want to stay on the boat until we figure out what's going on. I don't want to put nobody else through this. No matter how bad I want to get back to my loved ones. But I'm sure it's a lot easier said than done when you actually the one dealing with the bull. But shit, boy.
Right now, I'll share more when I can, but for now,
All right.
I just ask for your kindness and understanding.
So guys,
Bless.
a lot of countries were aware of this and they just did not want these people to dock. They're also saying that this was picked up somewhere in South America, specifically around Argentina, although I think epidemiologists, these people who study the transmissions of viruses, correct me if I'm wrong, are saying they're kind of in debate about what part of Argentina this virus, this hantavirus, possibly spread by the pygmy rice gnats was picked up on. But yeah, it's from one of these rats, these pygmy mice rats. As you can see, Google says they're small nocturnal rodents in the genus I can't do that, found throughout Central and South America in diverse habitats such as forests, scrublands, and agricultural fields, right? They are solitary, mainly terrestrial, feed on seeds and insects, and can be agricultural pests, right? All right, so rats, mice. And you know, people are now saying things like, I looked into that cruise ship outbreak and bro, I will be watching how that'll be handled like a hawk, because one slip up and it's another pandemic for all of us. I don't think that'll happen. Although, you know, we always think it won't happen to us until it...
Facts. I mean, we never thought it would happen until it did happen. I think what's the biggest thing here, if I'm going to rationalize, is these rats have been around. They didn't just come out of nowhere. People have been living in those areas. So unless some type of mutation happened in this strand that it's now spreading to humans, hopefully this isn't a big deal. You know, again, looks like lives are already lost, so RIP to those people. But if we're gonna put it on a human race type of situation where we're talking about COVID, every country shutting down, and pandemic level type of threat, it would really have to be something that everybody's catching left and right. And that's my biggest question. Okay, we know the death toll is high if you catch this. How contagious is it? They already said it's airborne.
It does. Other people are saying all eyes on this hantavirus outbreak. It's not looking good. One person, Greg, said, so should I start buying toilet paper? You know, in reference.
Bro, this is a problem. We don't take
coronavirus
shit seriously.
They also
bro.
say just in Switzerland detects hantavirus in MV Hondius passenger hospitalized in Zurich after onboard outbreak alert. So I'm not sure if this was like a random person from a previous expedition and or a person who was let off that specific ship. Here, as we can see, is the MV Hondius. Basically, by the way, this company, I believe they have a history of expeditions, scientific research, and now they're in the business of selling tickets to just regular people who want to go on polar expeditions around South America and into Antarctica. And of course, in the comment section, people say give it a month and this hantavirus would have spread all across the globe, an active outbreak alert, and they still let passengers off the ship. Those people are on connecting flights right now. Of course, people, I don't know about the validity of them being on connecting flights. I doubt they would allow that to happen if we assume, you know, this isn't calculated.
I mean, I'd imagine once you let them off the boats, there's nothing you can do. You know what I'm saying? You can let them off the boats. Now they're just interacting with all types of different humans. So what they really should have did, which I'm just gonna assume that they did, pray and hope that they did. There's no way the government is this fucking stupid unless they want us to go out. Not to try to be a conspiracy theorist here, But unless they all wanted us to kick rocks, you know what I'm saying? I'd imagine they would have taken all the precautions to see that, okay, then this thing is not contagious. Because if they didn't, bro, everybody get your affairs in order. You think I'm trolling too? On me, that if this is a contagious virus and we are dying by the 40%, yeah, bro, things about to get real ugly.
Listen, I'm not getting into any conspiracies here. I'm just saying, based off of the transmission rate,
Shit's bullshit too, man. Nigga just started winning. It's like, god damn. Yo, I ain't gonna lie to y'all on some real shit. Now I'm joking a little bit, but I'm also dead ass serious. One of my biggest goals in life is to just get so rich and successful that I can buy a bunker full of food and weapons out in some undisclosed area, bro. Because on some real shit, I don't know when it's gonna happen. I hope it's not anytime soon. I hope it's not in my lifetime. I hope it's not in your lifetime. I hope it's not in our kids' lifetime. But I do believe at some point in the near future, relatively to the human race, things are gonna get ugly, bro. I'm gonna just be honest, bro. Maybe I watch too much movies and whatnot, but there's been a lot of weird things going on, kind of just floating in the air over the last 10, 15 years, bro. I think something big is coming. I'm just putting